Hey, good morning, everybody. I tell you what, some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. Um, it's just one of those days, you know. Hey, Infinity, Dawn, Dex, Kevin, Donald, David. That's a lot of D names. Rongimer, Brian, George, Arturo, PD, Aaron, Sergio, Gary, Francois, Larry, Maurizio, Ted, Valerie. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Um, yeah, I'll tell you what. Um, I left my phone on the couch last night. You know what happens? You don't hear the alarm when the phone's across the house. Um, got a late start this morning. Then, hop in the truck and low fuel light comes on and it's like, well, dang, I gotta go get gas. And then, it's just some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield. Last night we had a scout meeting. If you didn't know, on Monday nights I'm at scouts with my son. Used to be with my kids, but now I'm down to the oldest or the youngest. I mean, youngest, and so we were hanging out. We were having what we call a fun day Monday. This is kind of a funny story I want to tell before we really jump into everything. Hope you enjoy it. Some of you may think I'm mean to kids. Anyway, so we were there having a good time. There was a fire pit. They were doing s'mores. We were trying to encourage younger scouts to join our troop as they move up into Boy Scouts, and so we had fire pit. We had I guess they were making pancakes and fire starters, and so I was just kind of walking around, and in the fire starter table there was a bag of cotton balls, and I was like, okay, and they had a bag of marshmallows by the s'mores fire pit. So I walk over, grab a handful of marshmallows, and go back over and grab the bag of cotton balls. I put the marshmallows in the cotton balls. And then I walk back over to the fire pit, and elf style, I pull one of these marshmallows out and pop it in my mouth. And kids are like, wait a minute. And kid, we'll call him Mike at this point, was like, hey, are those any good? I was like, they're delicious. He's like, can I have one? I was like, sure. So I give Mike a cotton ball, not a marshmallow. And he starts unwrapping it. You can unroll the cotton ball. And he was like, are they really good? I was like, I opened my mouth and showed him I chewed it all up. And he was like, okay. He's like, so I should try some? I was like, yeah. So he rips off a piece and puts it in his mouth and starts chewing it. I couldn't hold a straight face. I started laughing. My son's standing behind him, starts laughing, and my son's best friend starts laughing too. And they're like, my dad's messing with you, man. he keeps chewing it. He goes, it doesn't taste like anything. Anyway, I was laughing all the way home. Kimberly said I should share that story this morning, so it was quite amusing. He finally pulled it out and threw it in the fire pit, but it was pretty entertaining. Got a kid to eat a cotton ball. Anyway, I'm not that mean. I mean, it's like live and learn, right? Nothing hurt, no harm, no foul. Yeah. Anyway, maybe Mike learned something. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome, and let's jump into the market, shall we? Cat. I mean, he was already eating s'mores. I mean, he was sitting next to the bag of marshmallows. I didn't take the bag of marshmallows. Anyway, hey everybody, and I guess biotech is still lit up here on the transition. So let's go with all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. I may never get another thing right again. This presentation here is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. Nothing at all. Don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy cryptos, don't buy Forex, don't buy futures, don't sell any of them. Don't trade if you don't know what you're doing. And if you desire personal financial advice on investing, you need to hire and consult a financial advisor that has a fiduciary duty to do that. And hopefully it's one that comes highly rated. So, me, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude that knows a few things about trading and happens to get a few things right every now and then. Now, if you want to chat with me like all the fine folks on the chat, then click the link right over here. This little green button over here, the overlay, makes you a subscriber to the channel, and then the live stream chat becomes active while I'm live. If I'm no longer live, you'll have to leave a comment down below, and yeah, so that's where we're at this morning. If you want to chat with me all during the day, I have Discord. The link is in the description. You get the market roadmap line too, which we'll show off here in just a minute. So we have a busy week coming up this week. We have FOMC meetings starting today. We have consumer confidence coming out at 10 a.m. We have FOMC tomorrow wrapping up with the statement and the press conference and all the things, the Fed funds rate, Jerome Powell. But we also have ISM manufacturing and job openings. And we have non-farm employment change early tomorrow. It's going to be a bunch of economic news hitting tomorrow. And then on Thursday, not a whole lot going on, just unemployment claims. We get that every week. We get preliminary non-farm productivity, blah, 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 blah. And then on Friday, we get all the non-farm employment change, unemployment rate, all that stuff, and the ISM services PMI. I mean, it's we're going to wrap up the week quite a bit of economic numbers. Anyway, then, I mean, not only that, but we have a ton of stuff reporting earnings today. The thumbnail comes from Caterpillar. That's kind of the canary. I see it as an economic canary, not really a stock market canary, but an economic canary. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Caterpillar and DE. Those are economic canaries to me. Coming up tonight after the close, I have 30 minutes of awesome at 5 p.m. That's where I do 30 minutes of your request, at least. Usually late, for weeks now, it's been going an hour at least. And I give you some of my information. We'll look at stuff that's reporting earnings after the close, like AMD, First Solar, Paycom. We'll look at some of these right here. And before the open tomorrow, we have more. And then after the close tomorrow, we have more. And then after the, before the open on Thursday, even more. And we have after the close on Thursday, Apple, which is, we have the FOMC coming in right in here in the middle of the week. So, I mean, this is a stacked up week. This is the most number of companies, actual numbers this week. We had by market cap, we passed 50% of the S&P yesterday. I mean, last week, excuse me, yesterday. Yeah. We crossed it last week. With all the big tech earnings, since we did Tesla and we've done, Amazon and we've done Google and we've done Microsoft. I mean, more than 50% of the S&P by market cap has reported earnings, but we do have the big dog Apple coming in here on Thursday. So after this week, it's kind of a downhill on the earnings, kind of be fading after that. So, all right. Yeah, Rongamer was trying to make s'mores too last night. No, I didn't take a bunch. I just took 2. Anyway. Alrighty. So moving on over to the charts. Let's see which chart. Where did my S&P 500 chart go? So we have come down to that flip point and bounced right there. Bounced off the flip point. Hey Sledge, you missed a great story, man. If you just came in, you gotta rewind to the beginning and hear the story. It's pretty funny. And there's the S&P. Now we've come down to a treacherous point. We overlapped this high. I didn't really want to see this happen. So this high right over here, when we overlapped that high right there, this one right here, we mucked up the pattern for going higher. This thing mucked it right up. So, hey Terry. Terry, you gotta, yeah, I didn't wear a Halloween costume, but you gotta listen to the story I had at the beginning, Terry. It's pretty funny. I don't think you know Mike, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, so the S&P mucked it up right there. I got really concerned on Friday when we did that dip. Now, that was the lowest low on a Friday. So odds are with us. Rongamer was reminding me last night that, odds are with me, or odds are with us that there's like a 90% chance that we see a lower low. Now, this could be one of the 10% times where we don't. Yesterday we didn't get a lower low. Today we could. Not really what I want to see at this point, but we could be in the 10%, but the 90% of the chance is kind of with us that we're going to see a lower low than that low we made on Friday. That sucks, but it's kind of in there. And when we look at the smaller time frames, we didn't do anything really bullish on the S&P 500. So that only applies to the S&P 500, not to Dow, not to NASDAQ, not to Russell, not to any of the other things. So be cautious out there that we may see a dip and rip. And we may just chop around today waiting for the FOMC meeting tomorrow. Everybody may just be waiting. Everything may be just waiting. I mean, pretty much the Fed's been out for 2 weeks. All those guys speaking at all the different things for the last 2 weeks saying they were not going to raise rates. So I very much doubt that we're going to raise rates. It'll be about what they say during the speech afterward. I mean, the economy's running hot. There's fiscal tightening through the bond market. They've raised rates at a ridiculous pace, the fastest in history. And it takes 2 years for one rate raise to trickle all the way through the economy. So what they're seeing is the effects of the first rate raise finally starting to trickle through. And we're not even 2 years into it till next April around the halving event of Bitcoin. I mean, but the economy is not the stock market. So you have to kind of separate these things. Even though we talk about all these things and how they matter, a lot of these economic indicators are the economy, not the stock market. You have to separate them in your mind. We all love to talk about the economic stuff and the conditions and the this and the that. And I mean, it affects us every day, our businesses, where we work, what we do, what we can afford, all this stuff affects it. But that doesn't necessarily drive the stock market. If and when you can separate these things in your mind, things get a lot easier on doing trades. All right. If you look at the stock market, everything, you look at the economy, everything is horrible, potential wars, all this stuff. It doesn't have to cause a stock market crash. All right. The economy can be in the toilet, but companies can still make money and the stock market can still do good. It's a mind bender, but now things that do matter, the amount of money in the market. When the amount of money in the market gets sucked down, we tend to suck all the, it's liquidity. When the liquidity drops, we tend to drop in the market. Now, I have a net liquidity indicator, and it was running hot. We're getting a pullback. We don't have a green yet. So this thing kind of works as a RSI. If you're wondering what the devil this is, it's News Age is the, let's see if I can find its name on here somewhere, anywhere. I think I have it pinned up here. Maybe. Yeah, it's right there. NEWZAGE, Fed Net Liquidity. That one right there. So you can search for it. It's a free available. It's not mine. I just keep it on here. And, liquidity conditions are tight when we're up here. Liquidity conditions are loose. We have more liquidity when we're down here. So it's interesting. And we're just in the middle. We're not really tight. We were tight conditions up here. Now we're not so tight conditions. That means the market could go higher. Market just opened up $2, kind of flat open. We may see a dip. We may see a rip. I'm not sure yet. The overnight action, like I said, was kind of choppy and gnarly. Not really indicative of going higher or lower or anything. Look. We got a pullback and right back to the highs. Actually made a higher high. This is choppy off the lows. Whoa, look at this. We rejected and then popped up through. Come back test. If we hold, break above this today, that's indicative we're going to at least get some move higher. Probably coming up to, we're getting up ready to test the hour. We'll probably pop up through that, retest, and may do like we did on the 30-minute. We kind of reject first, then come up through. So we'll pop up, test it, maybe reject first, pop up through. That's where we get these. If anybody wonders where the echo trades come from, it's where we get these little same size echoes in the market in the small time frames. All right. And NASDAQ also looking kind of choppy, not making a higher high this morning. Cautious, caution. And that does not look like the newest list of morning monsters, but interesting. I guess it is. All right. On the daily for NASDAQ, this is why am I looking at this, not like QQQ or NDX? Because it trades all night and the indexes don't. So this is futures for big tech, NASDAQ, right here, and yeah, stuck under the roadmap line on the daily. ES went way on down. This is closer to the 3-day roadmap line. We look at it right here. Load. Go. There it is, right there. See? 3-day roadmap line. Just came out and touched it. That can still be bullish. All right. Just want to share all the things. Russell, I'm not sure what it's doing here. That definitely got the extension. And looking at the smaller time frames, it doesn't have any kind of constructive pattern. It would look best if it cleaned this up one more time, but this could be the start of something very bullish on Russell. I caution you. I mean, that's one big red and 2 inside days so far. We start breaking out above, say, 1680. We're probably going to go up quickly back to the roadmap line around 1800. Now, how do you trade that one? IWM, right there. That's small caps. They're beat down, and they can there's a lot of money that can flow into small caps very quickly, and it make a significant difference in the price of Russell. So, got my eye on that one. We got down almost to the roadmap line yesterday. That was a beautiful move. It was a lower, was not a lower low than we saw right there. We may have one more push down. Kind of would expect that to do a lower low thing. I've got an alert right there, just below the bottom of that candle. Still thinking we're bearish on oil, at least till we retest that roadmap line. All right. Kind of thought we would do that, and I've just been waiting. I may go long oil once we touch down in there and show some kind of reversal. Probably going to go out several months because this next run could take a while. Could take a good long while. I mean, and we're talking about up in the hundreds per barrel of oil. GC, still having trouble breaking out. Couldn't do it yesterday. Just sitting there right at that prior high. As soon as we get a close up here in the 2022 area, 2020 area. As soon as we close above that area, it's game on. Probably coming up here, 2150 at least, if not 2200 per ounce of gold. Bitcoin, I had some alerts last night that the spot market was pushing up through 35. Looks like we got rejected a little bit. I'd like to see this break out. Consolidation here, that's 3 potential patterns when we come up. We hit the 1272, we retrace to the 100, the breakout point, and then we extend. Or we get to the 1272, just consolidate, and then pop it. It looks like what we're doing is consolidating, and then we're probably going to pop it. 36,000 per Bitcoin is the target right now for that next extension. It'll be interesting. I have a strong feeling if we get above 40,000, we're going to see some serious FOMO kick in to Bitcoin. So be careful out there. Ethereum, still chopping and grinding. This is still not above the 618 retrace and still below resistance and still kind of bearish. Be careful on Ethereum. Be careful. I'm debating whether I want to try to hold on for 23 on my few Ethereum I'm holding, or if I should just liquidate them and wait. The longer this hangs out down below the 618, higher the chances that we get another big leg down. And it could take us all the way down in this 1200 area on Ethereum. All right, let me clean this up just a little bit. I know everybody's not necessarily here for Ethereum, Ether, but let's draw this on here. And yeah, 1200. Right down in there. Not feeling super awesome about that lack of ability to get up through that resistance. Just not feeling good about it. Dollar continuing to churn sideways in this consolidation. Right in here. If we break up above this prior high, we're going to 108. If we break down below probably these lows, we'll probably come down to this roadmap line and retest the breakout point here. The longer we just consolidate here, the higher the odds are we go deeper. Now, reporting earnings today, Starbucks, I heard. And didn't pick up the earnings, though. Didn't look like it moved much, so it must have been in line. Kind of expecting this to go lower at this point. Oh, Thursday, not today. I guess Thursday. I had something on X that said today. I don't know. So Thursday morning. Cat, ouch. Tuesday, beating on the top, beating on the bottom. Poor outlook and dropping. I thought they may need a deeper retrace. Probably going down to the target zone here. Now, Cat and DE. We have DE also moving down in sympathy. It was further down the list here. These are bellwethers for the economy. When they start doing poorly, it indicates that the economy, not necessarily the stock market, there's less investment, all right? People aren't buying the machines as much. So this is one of those things where, you kind of watch this for upcoming economic troubles. When these things start really correcting, really breaking down, below prior consolidation, that's when you need to get concerned. And we can see here in 2021, suddenly, back in the summer, we suddenly pulled back and then weren't participating in the rally at all toward the end of the year. And then, in fact, pulled down even harder through September. Then, all of a sudden, something changed in September. And we took off. And then the stock market found a bottom in October, and it took off. We've come up to a high here, and it was kind of a three-wavy move. Now we've got this correction. CAT and DE may need to go a little deeper before the economy itself goes higher. Now we could stop right here at the 50. That would be a beautiful place to find support. This is just it's just one of those things, like an economic indicator that I keep up with. CAT and DE, they're kind of like the canaries for the economy. When they start not doing so good, when their stock chart starts looking kind of funky, that's something to keep up with. All right. Now we roll back here. Look what we saw back here. We saw this awesome ramp up, and then they started indicating trouble. And we saw that in CAT also. We go back to 2008. Roll back, roll back. Right here, we started seeing lumpy conditions starting in 2006. We did grind higher in 07. We ground a little higher in 08. We started having problems all the way back in 06. That was indicating that we were getting close to an economic top, which we did. And then we got this avalanche down here. Now, DE does kind of go more toward farm equipment. Caterpillar, while they do have some farm equipment, does go more to development equipment, and mining equipment. So between the two of them, though, you kind of get a feel for what's happening between farming and construction. So Caterpillar does make some farm equipment, and DE does make some construction equipment. So there you go. And that ended up being like a 5-wave down right there. All right. How does that relate to today? Well, we may be in this stage, topping out economically. Look, I mean, we're starting to get that chop, right? And the pullback, we're getting the little push higher. Do we make another high, or which, if we kind of matched '06, we'll probably get another high into next year, and then big correction. That's kind of what it looks like. Could be the big correction could be like 2026. All right. MPWR. Monolithic power systems. Just sideways. Resistance up there at the highs. Support down here at the lows. Just in the middle. Going sideways. No trend. ANET. Popping today. Target's right up there. 205. I think I mentioned that yesterday, maybe. Is that earnings today? Earnings last night. Yeah. That's a beautiful chart. If we can close that green, that'd be a beautiful potential right there. I thought that one might bounce. Anybody take it? That was a pretty good, 205 is the target. It may take it a little bit to get up there. I mean, that's a bunch of candles. That's a bunch of resistance, but it may pop it right through. 205, 215 on the upside. ASML. Despite the pop this morning, still working on the correction. This could be the low, but the price action there makes it look like we're going to get another extension down to this 520 area. Lilly was on the poppers list. Now it's on the droppers list. We have earnings coming up on Thursday. Probably coming down to the roadmap line. If I had to take a guess. SSTK, Shutterstock. Man. What do they sell? They sell digital pictures. I mean, internet software. Creative platform for transformative brand media. Yeah, footage, music, editor. Yeah, they just sell digital content. So looks like the market for digital content is rough. That's a bearish chart. How low does she go? Golly, at this point, looks like it may need a lower low. We're down below all the. I mean, look, bounce up, bounce down. That's. It's looking like we may go down the toilet on Shutterstock. I mean, yikes. Wouldn't bet on that one. It's gonna need a Hail Mary or something there. Anyway, PANW. Failed to make that. Got retrace. 273, 283 maybe, but looks like it may want to go deeper here. I don't know. We'll see. Woof. Ouch. Well, got that target. Bounce back up to 39 and then down to 21. Looks like losing a bunch of money. Not a ton of revenue. Although it beat on both top and bottom, but how awesome is it when you beat on the top when you lose money? I mean, yeah, we lost a bunch of money. We thought we'd lose more, but we lost less. I mean, you still lost money. It's hard to be positive, but it's popping, but probably come up here and then drop more. Pins. Nice pop. Right up to resistance. If it can break out, if it can get above these two highs, these two candles right here, get above that, that's positive. Set an alert up there. 31-ish. We get above that, that's positive. Otherwise, we hold that. We're probably coming right back down once again. It's been significant resistance for 2 years. At least all this year. Well, all last year, too. We have not been able to get above that zone. I wouldn't expect it today, but hey, we've seen different stuff. If all of a sudden we start getting a crazy rally in the market, we watch out. Probably won't happen until tomorrow, though. Odds are We're not just going to rally in front of while the FOMC meeting is going on. Today, likely to be a chop day. So it's a choppy sideways. Maybe you get a pullback. And may continue in tomorrow into tomorrow. So SPRC, just chopping around. Cocoa, I guess that's cocoa water. Not bad. Alternate drinks are doing pretty well. It's a roadmap line retrace. We get back above 29, 30. Yeah, I'd say 30. Back above 30, 35, 39. You can set an alert there even. Like that looks pretty strong. And my wife buys this stuff. I mean, looks pretty strong. I mean, and I know it could be a buyout target too. That's a potential out there. I'm making money. Never get the Celsius. CLEH. No. CELH. I can never remember that letter. The order of those letters. And this one's getting a correction down to the roadmap line. And we hit the target. Hit the extensions. And getting a retrace. This one, as soon as it finishes this correction, probably going bullish again. These guys are aggressive on their marketing. 223, 230, 243, and higher targets up here, 324, 475. MSTR has been, MNST, get the right ticker. MNST did a bigger retrace. They're losing a bit of market share to some of these other alternate beverage companies. Couldn't keep the momentum after the split. Bit of a retrace. And if we look at that, though, it may have come down to a key level. Yeah, look at that. We break back above that roadmap line. We have... So this was trending and impulsive right here. This move up looks impulsive to me. And this correction right here looks very corrective to me. And if we break above this area right here, 64, 69 on the upside, that's just the minimum targets, potentially much higher levels. Talking about potential to go, yeah, there's some prior drawings up there. Pre-split. Talking about potential to go up here to 92 on the next move. That next move could be years long, like this long. You know, we could be talking like this. And that took us a year and a half, about a year and a half. So this move could take us like that. That's pretty strong. Nice potential. It's not, doesn't look super fast, but nice potential. It's kind of muted with the stock split in there, but nice potential. BA reporting earnings looks like, wow, lost a bunch of money. That was rough. Must have wrote down a bunch of stuff. I was thinking that we could possibly see a bounce back up to the roadmap line and then a deeper retrace potentially on Boeing, or we may just drift on down lower. I mean, like that's the two paths. We could either just go directly down here or get a bounce, hold at the roadmap line and turn down. Bud, nice pop. Still in the consolidation. Yeah. You say what you want to, but this is still a bullish, potential bullish setup here. We break out of this consolidation zone. Target's up there. This has a bullish setup right here. Look, it's off of this low. It's pop up, a retrace. That's a measured bounce setup. Doesn't matter that it failed to go the first time. Time isn't really a factor in this thing. As soon as we break out of this consolidation, though, I mean, set your alert right there at like 60. We break through 60. This thing is probably on a path up here to this $80 to $90 area. Been kind of watching that pattern for a good long time. In fact, I'm going to set another alert here at 60. We get up through there. Looks strong. Looks really strong. It's not so much about social media, whatever they're doing. I mean, that's part of the correction here, but the bigger pattern, this is a bullish setup right here to go higher. Now, it does also have potential to plummet if it breaks down, gets below 49. We're probably extending down here. As long as it holds up above this 49, 48, 49 area right here, the odds are kind of with it. The pattern's with it. That when we break out above 60, we're going up here. Beam is a biotech pharma and looks pretty crap. And it's a dumpster fire of a chart. Let's be honest, it's a dumpster fire of a chart right there. YCS. Beautiful. 1272. Could expect that to retrace back to the roadmap, or back to the roadmap line, or even the breakout point. Possibly extend out to 82. SPRT didn't load. Hubble. That's coming back into that consolidation. Does it go lower? Not sure at this point. Could hold support in here. May go a little deeper. That was kind of a weird, funky move up. Not sure. That's not clear. I just wouldn't mess with it right now. LSCC. That one got a deeper retrace. Looks like it topped out. Gonna come back down. Oh, it is back down in this consolidation. Retest those lows before it goes on the next extension, probably. See, this was much more bullish looking here off these lows. But that could be an ultimate high there, potentially. Looks like we reported earnings last night. Came in line, basically, and pretty in line, top and bottom. No surprises there. Amgen, back to the roadmap line. Can it hold? That rejected there, right back to the roadmap line. That still looks bullish for a potential move up into this 316 area. Ferguson, that's what? Wholesale distributors. It's like air conditioners, right? Plumbing and heating, yeah. HVAC and plumbing. Right back to the roadmap line. That could be all she needs. Break it back above 163 would be 177, 185 on the upside. NVIDIA still working on the roadmap line. Oh man, it's so close. It basically touched this morning. We do have the head and shoulders. If that plays out, we're looking for a bigger, deeper retrace. But be careful shorting this right now. We are down to the roadmap line. That's all I really wanted to see. We touched it right there. Look, touched it this morning. The low. Low coming out in 392.30. Right in the top of the roadmap line. Beautiful. It could push to the bottom. It could do like Apple. It could do like Microsoft. Push it on down in it. I'm not saying that's the end. I'm just saying be careful. That was the minimum I expected for a retrace. CTLT. And JT gets lucky again, right? NVIDIA retraces to the roadmap line, despite some people saying he didn't know what he's talking about. Catlint. That can definitely push down to 26. DE, we already kind of talked about. Don't really have a path forward for this. It's just choppy sideways. And if that's choppy sideways, it usually can result in a pop. That's been choppy sideways for a long time, though. DE's got some stuff to work through. I don't think I would be betting on DE for much right now. AMKR. If we break down below this, we're probably going deeper, but that's more choppy sideways for years. I mean, what's the opportunity? Not much. WDC. That one also had earnings on Monday morning, yesterday. Couldn't hold the 618. Maybe indicative that we're going lower. $33, $31 on the downside. PetMed Express. Looks like Pets is not a strong ticker to have. Pets.com, PetMed. It's like the jinx of the Pets ticker. That one going in the toilet. PDD, getting a pullback. It wouldn't surprise me to pop out to 118. It also would not surprise me to come down to the roadmap line. Hadn't been down there since August. Wouldn't surprise me. All right, buys for the day. There's the pullback. We may get a lower low. Be careful. Bias from now through FOMC tomorrow. Choppy sideways, may see a lower low. The market's just unlikely to do anything. We could get a pullback into the FOMC meeting announcement tomorrow at 2 p.m. But history says, like, I haven't traded 9 gazillion of these FOMC meetings every 6 weeks for years. History says price action is going to be muted today, tomorrow through 2 p.m. And just kind of, we may drift. We could drift higher. We could drift lower. It's unlikely we get a major move, but if we do see a big move, if it's big down, we're probably going to pop out of the FOMC. If it's a big up, we'll probably drop out of the FOMC. Just keep it in mind. If you're trading, if you're investing, this is just a correction on a long time span, all right? You got to find solid companies that are doing well and invest in those. Don't invest in the sideways crap that's not really moving. All right? Have a great day, everybody. I'll be back at 5 p.m. Eastern with 30 minutes of awesome. Hope to see you there. I need people to show up and make requests so that I have content. So if you can't make it live, you can watch the replay. If I don't have people show up and make requests, then the show is kind of short and boring. So there you go. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you again later.